Hello and welcome. Today we're talking about the soul and its purpose. My name is Jody Lynn Craven, founder of Abundance Consciousness, and this is my dear friend Heather Marie, founder of Soulgate.
Welcome to Channel Squared, where we connect with you, the divine, and channel here with you live.
Yeah. Okay. Soul and its purpose. We have a lot of things on our list to talk about today, but let's start off with the soul. And perhaps what is it? And what do you think the purpose is?
Let's just jump right in, shall we?
Well, we might as well.
Okay, so soul and its purpose is a question that I get asked all the time. In fact, that's a reading or a channeling service that I provide is soul purpose. Like, why are you here, right? But I think that it's more than this. Like it's kind of confusing and it gets confused a lot. So when people think about soul purpose, they think of it as like, why am I here? Why did I come here? Like, why is my time in this lifetime? Like, why am I here? Like, what is my soul's purpose? But the truth is that the soul's purpose, its true purpose, deep down under what you think its purpose is to give human experience to one infinite creator, source, God, the big guy in the sky, whatever you call it, okay? The energy that has created your soul. So if you think about the soul as almost like a fragment, a piece of something else.
Yeah.
And it's sent out to extract or receive or upload data to its original source. That's pretty much what the soul is. Now, in order to do this, the soul will come in with a plan for a particular experience that it's wanting to have. And so oftentimes this is where it gets confusing about soul purpose and soul plan and how people tend to use those terms interchangeably, like they're same and same, and they're not. Yeah. They're entirely different. So you can say, what is my soul purpose? And what you're meaning is, why am I here? What did I come here for? And so maybe your soul's purpose in this particular experience is to understand and have the experience of winning the lottery, let's say. Okay. So its purpose was to come here and figure out how to actually win the lottery. That doesn't mean it's its purpose. It's just what it came here.
Overarching purpose. It's the plan for this lifetime.
Exactly. And so its purpose in its experience for this particular instance of it is to maybe win the lottery. Now, it needs to develop a plan for that.
Yeah.
And that's when all of the other parties that are in your human waking experience, all of the things that occur, are developed and designed and curated specifically for you to have that experience, so that when you get to the end of the road and your body is ready to expire and your soul is ready to return, it has had the experience that it said it came here to have.
Okay.
Now, that's not the overall purpose of your soul. The overall purpose of your soul is to come here and have experiences. That's its purpose. Its purpose is to provide information to the source that created it.
Sounds so simple.
So simple, right? I think our episode's over. No.
Yeah.
That's it, the end.
So everybody's soul purpose would be exactly the same. It would be the plan, how they execute that experience, or what experience now that would be different. And Yeah. Okay. So I can get on board with that. I think I agree with that. That makes sense to me, that it all goes back to the one infinite creator, if you will, God. And that our plan, purpose in quotations, for this life will be, how do you execute that actual experience? Like, what experience is it and how do you execute it? And I think that changes. It could change with each lifetime, depending on, I don't know, how in depth, how big, how much you accomplished, a varying different amount of factors. I know that I've spent many lifetimes with the same plan or a very similar plan of execution without completion.
Absolutely. Like, I'm in the same boat. I have done this over and over and over and over again. And there has been many lifetimes of, torture and whatever for trying to be this, bring this information, share this knowledge. And that's just depending on the timeline that mankind is in that particular instance of my soul.
Yeah.
It worked out well, or it didn't, but, and I'm sure that there's probably someone listening right now that is like, that totally flies in the face of every single thing that I believe in this world to be true. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I just wish for you to explore the possibility that we are all truly connected, that we are all truly but one energy, and that we are here having experiences and providing experiences to one another because we are all one energy.
Yeah. And I think you bring up a really good point. Discernment.
Discernment.
I think use discernment with everything you hear and everyone you listen to. And with that, be open to listening to what other perspectives present, like this one. If this one doesn't, feel quite right to you or land well with you, okay, that's
Next.
okay. Yeah. Or like, okay, what exactly, rubs me the wrong way? I know a lot of times I've learned the most about myself when I have been in disharmony with the reality around me. It doesn't feel good. Okay, why doesn't it feel good? And most of the time it's a meaning that I created or a perspective that I'm not willing to let go of to have this other perspective, or I believe I have to give up this to have this. So that could be at play right now. And that's an opportunity to have a different understanding with yourself of the way you see the world, which is a part of, I would say, the purpose of the soul. It's the experience.
Definitely. I mean, you came into a physical body that was assigned a meaning-making machine to place meaning and structure and thoughts around every single encounter and experience that you have.
Yeah.
But is this the know-all? No, this is just a meaning-making machine.
Yeah.
What if none of it means anything? What if it means nothing? What if all of the shit that you've experienced in your life is actually meaningless? When I think about that, I think about, God, how expansive. It doesn't mean anything. Like, that dirty look I got from that girl in the grocery store the other day didn't mean anything. Oh, she just had something in her eye. Oh, wow.
She just smelled the
maybe
fart.
She was actually, maybe she was actually a really nice girl, but I placed all this judgment on her because she gave me a look, but she wasn't even looking at me. Right?
She was looking right past you. She couldn't even see you because something was in her eye.
Exactly. Right. I mean, and this is the distortion, the distortion that we came here to experience. so that all this beautiful experience and information can roll up the ladder and all of us being connected get to experience it. It's really expansive and beautiful when you look at it through that lens. It can feel very closed and simpletonness. Is that a word? Simpletonness? It is today.
It is now.
It is now. We're officially adding it to the dictionary. You know, it can feel very like constrictive or closed, but I encourage you to look larger than that. What if everything that you've experienced in your life was perfectly curated for the greater good of all the other souls that are on this plane with you? How fun. It's one big playground. Everyone's in the sandbox together, and we all are going to have fun together. We can create anything together because we're all connected and we're all the same.
Yeah.
But
just varying degrees.
Varying degrees. Right. We all have a different plan. We all came in here to play a different role.
Yeah.
We all came to have a different position in the sandbox.
Yeah. And I think, going back to meaning, understanding the plan, knowing what the plan is, somebody else tell me my plan. We've put so much weight and emphasis on that. And that is also a part of the meaning making. Like, if I'm not on my soul mission plan, I'm going to fail or whatever. This isn't a math test. There's no actual failing. It's okay. Well, even the lives I've repeated the same plan, it was because something else needed to be learned, understood, experienced in those moments, whatever they were, to alter my consciousness, the consciousness of my soul, perhaps have that memory, bring that into today and move forward. And perhaps the world wasn't ready for that said thing.
It brings up a phrase or something that I see that circles around social media every so often. And that phrase is, instead of looking at why is this being done to me or why is this happening to me, and looking at it through the lens of what is this trying to teach me?
Yeah.
Right? You can look at something that is terrible and go, oh my gosh, why is this happening to me? Like, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I keep attracting this type of person? Why do I keep having money problems? Why do I keep, hating my job so much? Why can't I find a career that I love? Why am I so bored in my life? Why is this happening to me? This keeps happening to me. But is it happening to you, or is it trying to show you a different way? Yeah. You can look at it and go, I keep going with the same person. I just got out of that last terrible relationship, and now I'm in another terrible relationship, and it's the same person. Well, what is that trying to teach you?
Yeah.
It's being brought to you because there's something that you need to learn, and maybe it's about loving yourself. We talked about that in our love episode.
Yeah.
Maybe your career doesn't work for you because it's not in vibrational alignment with you.
Yeah.
Well, what is? What if money didn't matter? What if you just did what you loved instead of doing what you're doing because it's paying the bills? What then? Maybe you make less money. Who says you have to make, $300,000 a year? Who says that you have to make that? Why do you need the money? Who says
you're going to make less money when you enjoy what you're doing?
Yep. I know people who do underwater welding because they're scuba divers and they love to scuba dive. And they make a lot of money being underwater welders. They learn to weld so that they could scuba dive every day because they love it so much. They just love being under the water. They see all kinds of cool shit. They get to do all kinds of fun things. They get to write off fabulous vacations because they got to go do some underwater welding in, Bali. Okay. So who says that unglamorous underwater welding job that maybe doesn't pay you very much money. Maybe it will, but you're doing it because you love it. Who says that you have to fit into a certain mold?
Yeah.
When I work with people about soul purpose, what they're asking me is, how can I light my soul on fire? How can I live this fulfilled, bold, beautiful life that I know deep down I'm meant to have? And the question that I ask is, what does that look like for you? And I get met with silence.
Yeah.
Because they've never explored what that looks like for them.
Mm-hmm. This meaning making machine has locked them into a box. And I've been there too, locked in the box of, well, it has to be this way. These are the things I should be doing. And I have to do them this way because this person and this person and this person told me so. So I can't have that until I get here. And this is all a perception that is creating the reality. And I think the truth of it is how do I have this soulful experience where I'm in love with my life?
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that, you know, as much as there has been placed on 2020 and how 2020 went for most of the world,
yeah,
it brought everybody home and it gave everyone an opportunity to reevaluate their life and how they're living it. And many people didn't want to go back to the office. They didn't want to sit in the 1 hour commute every day, or the 2 hour commute, or the 2.5 hour commute.
Oh, gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I have an uncle who would leave for work at 6 o'clock in the morning in order to arrive by 8:30. Who wants to do that?
Not I, friend. Not
2020 bringing everybody home provided an opportunity for that particular soul to go, I do not want to sit in 5 hours of traffic anymore. What can I do with 5 hours of my time? I want to telecommute to work. What does that mean? Maybe it means changing career paths. Maybe it means talking to my employer and saying, hey, I'll come into the office 2 days a week instead of all 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you'll get 2 extra hours per day of productivity out of me because I'm not sitting in the car.
Yeah.
You know, negotiate that if that's something that you want.
Absolutely. I think 2020 was an evaluation or a reevaluation year for a lot of people, myself included. And those were the kind of questions that I was asking myself. Who says I need to be at the office? And who says I have this thing that I get chained to my desk. Like I'll be like, I have to sit down in front of my computer. And then I'll just sit here sometimes and be like, what should I do? I don't know. I should just be here. Why? Why? You know, do I have something that I actually need to get done? Or is it this belief system that you work 8 hours a day? And if it's the belief system, well, is that absolutely true? Would it be more beneficial to split up my day? So I work a couple hours in the morning and then I go outside and, you know, go fa la la on the land that I live on and then come back rejuvenated, maybe sun-kissed if it's the summer, you know, whatever it is. It's so crazy. My parents are in Costa Rica right now. And I've been watching over their farm. And so what that entails is I go there every day and I feed the dog, and you got to make him gravy or else he won't eat the food. And my mom spoils him anyway. So you like literally have to make him gravy. So it takes a little bit of time. And then there's a couple of horses that are still there. And so I've been wanting to develop this relationship with these horses because they don't really know me. They're new. And they're kind of like stuck up.
Never met horses.
Yeah, there's snooty horses. Like I've never really encountered that. And maybe it's because these other horses that we've had them for a long time. So as soon as they came, you know, I was working with them right away because I'm a horse person. But these ones, they were kind of snooty. And I could see that they liked my dad, but I could tell that they didn't really particularly like me. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like they would just they wouldn't come up to me. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make you be my friend. Anyway, so I have to go out there and I check on them and I, talk to them and whatever. And my big realization over the last couple of weeks in doing this is that in the dead of winter, when it's, minus 20, and beyond that, and when it's like the frigid weather of the great white north, I don't want to go outside. But that being said, I feel so grounded outside and in nature. And when I'm around animals, I feel this special energy, life force, if you will. It's breathtaking and beautiful, and I love it. So having to go and do this every day has given me a reason to go outside when it's that cold and to bundle up. And the weather's not that great, but you can hide in some corners there and it's not that bad either. I've been here my whole life. But just reevaluating that. And I said that to my husband is, I'd really like some animals so that I have, purpose outside when it is cold and there's lots of snow and whatever, to go out and be. And I love being around animals. Again, it's coming back to this redesigning of the ideal life that I want to have. There's magic there. I see that. I want more of that. Okay, what do we got to do?
Exactly. And, that kind of stuff can look differently for everybody. Like, I also love to be in nature. I live in a brand new house that has grass. That's it. It's just grass. So our backyard is literally nothing but grass. But you know what? Being out in nature, sitting in nature for me is putting my little beach chair out on the little tiny patio that we have and sticking my feet on the grass.
Yeah.
And I'm out there just in the nature. I'm with my grass. I'm looking up at my sky with my little clouds going by, and it's like a sky show in nature.
Yeah.
And you know what? It feeds my soul. Would I love to have a garden that I can tend to and maintain? Absolutely. And it's on the plan. Hasn't started yet, but it's on the plan. It's slated for this next year after we are done with the freezes that I guess we have in Texas. But the point being that, nature is something that's important to me. And so I'm cultivating my life by design. And the Capricorn in me is very focused around money. It's just part of who I am. Mm-hmm. And when I look at that, I look at it now from the lens of, but what is money? What is money? You would have talked to me 2-3 years ago, maybe longer. It was about the coin, the currency, right? Yes. Yeah. How many zeros are in my bank account, right? How much coin and paper do I have? Yeah. And now I look at it as, what is money? To me, it's the resource of the love that I have in my life, the family I'm trying to create, the home that I'm putting together and designing and decorating, the garden that I want to plant next year. That to me, that's money. That's money, right?
That's money.
Exactly. And so when I'm looking at my soul purpose, okay, I came here to spread a word. Okay, this is my plan, was to come here to communicate about love, to bring the message from the divine to the people that are here. Great. That's my spiritual job. But is that giving me all of the human experience that I came here to have? And no, it's not. It doesn't define who I am. Am I a channel? Yes, absolutely. That is a tool in my toolbox and I use it frequently. But it's not me. I am not only a channel.
Yeah.
And so even though, the position of my soul to come in and share this message over and over and over again in every single lifetime, even though it is this, and my life's work is to unite humanity to the one infinite creator, even though that is what I came here as my job, my purpose, it's not the only experience I came here to have. So it's not going to define me.
Oh, that's so good. Because it's not just that part of the plan that matters. And that's what most people get frustrated with. And that's, as we're winding down with this conversation, when we have, 20 minutes left or so, 10 minutes, just over, somewhere in there. That's a question that I have is, if somebody is struggling with their purpose, quote unquote, which their plan, it's typically geared towards work. What am I supposed to bring to the world in terms of work? What am I supposed to do? And I know that you've had many sessions, with many people about purpose. And I think it's so interesting when someone is told that their purpose is to have fun. And they really struggle with this. What do you mean? I'm not supposed to be here to deliver the next great invention or the greatest business or whatever. The reality is that could be a part of you having fun. Is that fun to you, inventing things? Is it fun to you to build a business? Is it fun to you to create a coaching program or to coach people or to write a book or to whatever? Is that fun to you? So your plan or your purpose is way more wide open. It doesn't just have to do with the work that you are delivering to the world. And I think that's hard for people to wrap their brains around.
Well, and a lot of coaches, spiritual people in the spiritual community, they will say acts of service, right? Like, how are you serving your fellow brethren?
Ooh.
And I challenge that. I challenge that you're not serving because you're not in service to one another. What if you are in service to one another because you're feeding that collective energy, right? You're having a blast in your life. You're out at the beach every Friday, you're planting all the things, you're driving with the top down, you are bungee jumping on Sunday. Like, what if you having just a blast, all the fun in the world? How is that not in service to others? Because it is. It absolutely is. You are feeding this collective energy. Mm-hmm. Fun, positivity, joy, happiness,
love.
You're feeding that love into creation. The universe. Exactly. Yeah. You're feeding this in, right? And people who interact with you, that shit's infectious.
Yeah.
They feel that from you. They say hi to you in the donut shop while you're getting donuts and they're getting coffee because they're on a diet. So they're not going to have any donuts. They're just getting coffee. And you're there piling up all the donuts and you're like, oh, no. Oh my God, the powdery ones are so good. Right? That person is like, man, how fun it is that they get to experience such a delightful treat.
Yeah.
And they leave and they're like, wow, that person was so great. What a wonderful day I'm going to have today.
In service. Yeah.
In service. Exactly. So when we bring it back to soul purpose, perhaps your soul purpose is to just enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're really here for.
Yeah.
Is to bring human experience to the energy that created you. And maybe you have a plan for it. Maybe you don't have a plan for it. Maybe you came in. Yeah, most people come in with a plan, an idea anyway.
Yeah, but that plan could be just to have fun.
Could be just to have fun. I've had plenty of sessions with people that they're just here to enjoy their life and just have fun. Mm-hmm. And whatever that fun looks like, it's just what it is. Like you said, maybe it is to invent the next rocket ship, If that's fun for you, why not?
Yeah. And I think if you are listening to this conversation and you desperately want to know what your soul purpose is, obviously sit down with Heather and she can do a trance channeling session for you. The way that I began to figure it out was simply following that joy. I really, truly loved learning, and I could learn really complex things and spit it out in a way that was easy and digestible for, everyday people. Not saying that I'm super, super brilliant, that I know things people can't understand. I just digest information in a different way and can turn it around and explain it very simply. That's like a superpower of mine. And I like doing that. I like when people experience that aha moment. So I kept following that. I did it with my safety career. I did it with my transition into finances and being a broker. I loved teaching people these and having these aha moments. And that led right to abundance consciousness, was learning. I was on this path of following what my heart desired. And it's so crazy. I said this to you, earlier in the week, Heather, that I finally get it. I finally, now that my purpose has become so much more clear and I understand where I'm going on the work side of things, I understand why my path went like this. I finally see how the pieces of the puzzle all fit together and why it started with understanding what a bond is and how it went all the way to energy and then all the way this way. It was so crazy following the path, but I was simply following what I was excited about, what I wanted to learn about. Sometimes that took me off the path too, which was fine as long as I was enjoying the process. So if you're, struggling with what is my purpose, my plan for this life, start experiencing it. Get into your life. What experiences do you want to have? What experiences fill your soul, fill your cup, fill your heart up to the brim that you're overflowing, and keep following that feeling, because when you're there, you are magnetic for everything that you desire.
Absolutely. And I just want to asterisk the point of follow the joy, which means you need to be aware that you're experiencing joy.
Yeah.
So when you are in the moment doing the thing, whatever it is, stop for a second, go, am I enjoying this? Am I happy? Do I love this right now? And take a moment and just let it sink in. Relish that moment of joy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can create from that. And it's much easier that way.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Beautiful. Mic drop. I think we got it all in this episode here. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit that like button and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button as well, so you never miss an episode. Join us here next week as we cover souls in all of the other things that are non-human. We're going down that road. Do they have souls? Do inanimate objects have souls? What does that mean? And what does that look like for the future? Amazing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.